The perfect bull rider wasn't born. He was built piece by piece through broken bones, fearless grit, and an unnatural ability to read a beast's next move before it even happened. JB Mauney defied physics, staying glued to a bull that wanted nothing more than to launch him into the dirt. Lane Frost's mind was sharper than the horns aimed at his body, turning pressure into pure focus. Ty Murray rode through injuries that would end careers, his pain threshold set to inhuman levels. But what happens when you combine all of these legends into one unstoppable force? Tune in, because what you're about to see might just rewrite the rules of bull riding forever. JB Mauney, the master of balance. When it comes to staying on a bucking, twisting beast for 8 full seconds, no one did it with more finesse than JB Mauney. The man had a way of adjusting mid-ride that made it look like he was glued to the bull. His balance wasn't just good, it was freakishly perfect. While other riders tensed up, Mauney rode with a loose, almost careless style that actually gave him more control. That flexibility let him move with the bull instead of fighting against it, which is the difference between a champion and a dirt eater. Every time a bull tried to throw him, he seemed to know exactly what move to make before it even happened. You could call it instinct, but really, it was years of experience and an understanding of movement that most riders could only dream of. His ability to anticipate a bull's next move wasn't luck, it was calculated precision built over thousands of rides. Some riders cling for a dear life, desperate to hold on. Mauney never looked desperate. He looked like he was playing a game where he always knew the next step before anyone else did. His style defied everything people thought they knew about bull riding. Instead of gripping tighter, he let his body flow. Instead of muscling his way through a ride, he stayed loose, using the bull's energy against it. His body became a part of the movement, never rigid, never stiff. That's why he stayed on when others got launched into the dirt. His control wasn't force, it was adaptation. There's a difference between reacting and predicting. Mauney predicted. He read every twitch, every shift, and responded instantly without overthinking. The moment his ride started, he was locked in. It was effortless, and that's why it worked. Camel City Mills lightweight work socks, proudly made in the USA, so you can stay cool, dry, and comfortable all day without the bulk. Made with breathable, moisture-wicking merino wool, these socks keep sweat away and prevent blisters, so you can power through long shifts, tough jobs, or everyday adventures with ease. Backed by a 10-year durability guarantee and loved by thousands of satisfied customers, so you can trust they'll outlast and outperform your old socks. Grab yours now and save! Use my link or discount code BuckandBulls10 at checkout for an exclusive deal. Your feet will thank you. Lane Frost, the mental giant. Riding bulls isn't just about physical skill, it's about staying sharp in the mind. And no one had a stronger mental game than Lane Frost. The man had ice in his veins. He didn't just ride bulls, he faced them head-on without fear, no matter how wild or dangerous they were. That kind of mental control is rare, and that's what made him a legend. Even when the stakes were high and the crowd was roaring, Frost never lost focus. He knew that one slip of concentration could mean disaster, and he refused to let emotions or pressure get in his way. While others cracked under the weight of expectation, he thrived under it. He didn't just ride bulls, he outsmarted them. And in a sport where hesitation equals failure, his sharp, fearless mindset was what made him untouchable. Every great bull rider faces moments where doubt could creep in, but with Frost, doubt never had a chance. His belief in himself was unshakable. He trusted his preparation, his instincts, and his ability to stay composed no matter what was happening around him. He understood that a single second of hesitation could be the difference between a perfect ride and a devastating fall. He lived by that understanding every single time he climbed onto a bull. There was no room for second guessing, no time to overthink. Once the gate flew open, he was locked in. That level of mental toughness separated him from everyone else. He refused to be rattled by failure. If a ride went bad, he didn't dwell on it. He took what he learned, applied it to the next ride, and moved forward. That resilience made him unstoppable. It wasn't about ignoring fear, it was about controlling it. That kind of mindset is what turns a great rider into a legend. Frost had it in spades. Ty Murray, the king of toughness. If there's one thing that separates good riders from legends, it's the ability to get up after getting knocked down. Ty Murray defined that mentality. The king of the Cowboys wasn't just a great rider, he was relentless. He had a work ethic that would break most people and a pain tolerance that bordered on insane. Broken bones, torn ligaments, concussions, none of it mattered. He rode through it all like nothing happened. His determination wasn't just about riding bulls, it was about proving that nothing could stop him. Every time he got thrown, he got back on. Every time he got hurt, he rode harder. That kind of grit can't be taught. You either have it or you don't. And Murray had more of it than just about anyone who ever set foot in an arena. Most riders have a breaking point, a point where the pain, the exhaustion, where the sheer brutality of the sport gets to them. That point never seemed to exist for Murray. He took every hit, every fall, every wreck, and treated it like a minor inconvenience. The worst injuries didn't make him quit, they made him push harder. He was the kind of rider who would go to war with a bull, take the worst beating possible, and still come back stronger. That's not just toughness, it's an unbreakable will. He knew that the moment he hesitated, the moment he let pain or fear control him, he would lose. And losing was never an option. It wasn't about talent for him. Talent was just the foundation. His true strength was in his refusal to back down. No matter how bad things got, he never let it stop him. That kind of determination is what made him a legend. He didn't just want to win, he needed to. And he would do whatever it took to make sure that happened. José Vitor Leme, the athletic phenomenon. Imagine being thrown into the air by nearly a ton of raw muscle, only to land back in the perfect position, ready to fight gravity once again. That's what José Vitor Leme does like no other. A former soccer player, he took the agility and precision from the field straight into the rodeo arena, proving that athletic background matters. His reflexes are freakishly sharp, his core strength is insane, and the way he adjusts in midair, almost like he's got some kind of supernatural balance. Most riders get launched, but Leme finds a way to fight back, even when the bull does everything possible to send him flying. It's not just skill, it's instinct sharpened to an absurd level. When most would be upside down, he somehow flips the script and lands right back where he needs to be. It's almost unfair. Watching him ride feels like watching someone bend the rules of physics. That kind of athleticism isn't just talent, it's a weapon. Every movement he makes is calculated without hesitation, almost like he has a blueprint of each bull's next move stored in his mind. The way he shifts his weight, adjusting his posture midair with terrifying precision, is something few have ever mastered. There are moments when it seems like he's a step ahead of the bull, making last-second corrections with such ease that the audience can hardly believe their eyes. He turns what should be chaos into an art form, where every movement has a purpose. It's this ability to react in an instant that sets him apart. While others are just fighting to hold on, he's reading the ride like an open book and making sure he stays in control from start to finish. His core strength is something truly remarkable. With each massive buck of the bull, his body absorbs the impact like a spring and resets just in time for the next move. It's not just about muscle, it's about knowing how to use it. He doesn't fight against the bull's movement, he moves with it, absorbing and redirecting forces that would throw any normal person straight into the dirt. Adriano Moraes, the Bull Whisperer. Raw strength and athleticism can only take you so far. If you can't outthink the bull, you're done before the ride even starts. That's where Adriano Moraes comes in. This three-time PBR world champion turned raiding bulls into an art form. He didn't just react to the ride, he predicted it. Every buck, every twist, every last-second jerk of the bull's body, Moraes had already calculated what was coming. And it wasn't just about knowing the bull's tendencies. He could change his own riding style on the fly, something most riders struggle with their whole careers. One bull needs a looser grip? Adjust. Another one launches forward more than it spins? Adapt. Most guys had their preferred way to ride. Moraes had about 10. That kind of adaptability doesn't just win you rides, it wins you championships. It makes you the guy bulls hate going up against because no matter what they do, you've already figured them out. The mind game is real, and Moraes played it at a level few ever have. There are few riders who have mastered the mental side of bull riding like Moraes. His approach was scientific, breaking down every move and adjusting his reactions accordingly. He never rode with blind aggression. He rode with strategy, patience, and an understanding that bull riding isn't just about brute force. It's about outsmarting the animal beneath you. Every movement had intention, every adjustment was precise. It wasn't luck that kept him on top, it was pure intelligence and adaptability. His ability to think through rides with such accuracy made him a legend, and his legacy in the sport is defined by how he changed the way people think about what it takes to be the best. Jess Lockwood, the Iron Grip. Some riders stay on a bull because of skill, some because of sheer willpower. Jess Lockwood, he stays on because his grip is ridiculous. It's like his hand was made out of steel. Bulls throw every trick in the book at him, but when he latches on, it's like he's got an industrial-grade vice for a hand. You can see it when bulls whip their heads and try to snap him loose. He doesn't flinch. That's grip strength at a level most people can't even comprehend. It's not just about holding on either. That grip means control, and control means staying in the perfect position to last the full 8 seconds. When you're hanging on for dear life, knowing that your hand isn't going to slip might be the one thing keeping you from disaster. Lockwood didn't just grip the rope, he owned it. It's the kind of strength that separates the good from the great, and in bull riding, that makes all the difference. Hand strength in bull riding isn't just about holding on tight. It's about knowing when to let the tension ease just enough to flow with the bull rather than fighting against it. Lockwood's grip allowed him to make adjustments that other riders struggled with, keeping him in a dominant position for longer than most. His wrist and forearm power gave him leverage that made the difference between a ride that ends in victory and one that ends in the dirt. It's rare to see someone with that level of control where even the most brutal jerks and snaps from a bull can't break his hold. Lockwood's grip is legendary because it's relentless. No matter what, he stays locked in. That mental toughness paired with physical strength creates an unshakable force. While many riders rely on split-second reactions and quick thinking, Lockwood adds another layer to the fight, pure, unrelenting grip power that makes him anchored when others would be thrown off. There's no slipping, no breaking, no second guessing. He grabs on, and that's it. It's a small detail that makes a massive difference, and it's the reason he's one of the toughest competitors to ever ride. Tuff Hedeman, the Showman. Tuff Hedeman wasn't just another name in bull riding. He was the whole package. A champion on the back of a bull, and a showman who understood that his sports need stars, not just winners. His ability to command attention both in and out of the arena was a game changer. He didn't just ride bulls, he made the entire event feel bigger. Fans weren't just watching a sport, they were watching a spectacle, and Hedeman was at the center of it all. Whether he was waving to the crowd, playing up the drama, or taking a stand for the riders, he left an impact far beyond 8-second rides. You see, bull riding isn't just about the score, it's about the show. And nobody understood that better than Hedeman. He took what could have been a niche, rough-and-tumble event and made it something that you couldn't look away from. He wasn't just an athlete, he was a face for the sport. He added flair, confidence, and an undeniable presence that pulled people in. Even the moments when he wasn't on a bull, he kept the energy electric, a true performer in a sport that desperately needed one. His leadership was just as important as his riding. He played a huge role in shaping the future of professional bull riding, pushing for better conditions for riders and making sure the sport continued to grow. Hedeman's name isn't just in the books because he won titles, it's there because he made sure everyone knew what bull riding was all about. Some guys win and fade into history. Hedeman made history, and his showmanship kept the sport alive in a way that stats alone never could. Shivers, the fearless fighter. Bull riding isn't for the faint of heart, and even in a sport built on toughness, Shivers stood out. At 5 feet 5 inches, he was one of the smallest guys ever to compete at the highest level, but size meant nothing when it came to guts. He rode like he had nothing to lose, and that's what made him so dangerous. When others hesitated, he leaned in. When the bulls tried to shake him, he fought back. Every ride was an all-out war, and Shivers never backed down. Fearless isn't just a word, it's a requirement. And for Shivers, it was his greatest weapon. He took on the rankest bulls, the ones that sent others flying in seconds, and made them look rideable. It wasn't about brute strength or size, it was about an unshakable mindset. There's a difference between being tough and being fearless. Shivers was both. He knew what was at stake every time he climbed into that chute, and he didn't care. The crowd saw it, the bulls felt it, the other riders respected it. 2 world titles weren't just handed to him, he earned them through sheer willpower. He faced the best bulls in the world and came out on top because fear never controlled him. The great ones don't just survive the pressure, they thrive in it. That's what made Shivers different. He wasn't just riding bulls, he was proving that no matter the size, no matter the odds, a rider with enough grit could take on anything and win. So, if you could build the ultimate bull rider, who would you pick? Would it be Mauney's balance, Frost's mental game, or Lockwood's grip? Or maybe a combination of them all? Let us know in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe for more.